I just ran outside to catch some sunlight. It's been cloudy and rainy since yesterday. Through the window, I noticed the sun made an apparition, so I ran outside just to catch the warmth. And indeed, was warm. I could feel the energy just being absorbed through the skin. It felt so good. It's life giving, you know. We require sunlight. Some people require more than others, depends on the area that you are living. People who have more U, for instance, they require 10 times more sunlight than the ones who have less U, like the ones from North Asia and North America. You see, these areas are, more cold, and our skins are extremely lighter. So half an hour of sunlight is enough for us a day. But people, from the more temperate center or south of the planet, those people, they require 6 hours of sunlight, because of the U, because the U kind of protects, the system. There's less absorption. So even so, we are not having enough sunlight, at least the ones from the old continent and Northern Asia. I wouldn't call it a continent. Sometimes I'm of the opinion that it's just one continent, Asia. Not Europe is not a continent. It's just West Asia. But they want, to be different, special. I don't know. But it's of the Northern Asia that people are more materialistic and calculative. They kind of had to be, because if you don't, count and measure and be materialistic, hyper, materialistic, the winter is gonna, destroy you. So culture kind of developed differently for peoples of Asia, Northern Asia. I mean, the southern part of Asia, the southern part of Europe, they have a total different culture. They are not so materialistic at all. They are more into, I don't know, speaking and talking at the outside. You know, they have these terraces, la terrace. I don't know how to say that in English. It's an outdoor, restaurant. You know, and people just are more. They talk louder, because they are outdoors. Yeah, and there's lots of ambience noise, so we kind of have to raise our voices because we are used to be outside. You know, peoples of the north, they find this to be very loudy because they were always inside. Peoples of the north, because it's cold, so they have to kind of speak less loudly. Otherwise, people don't understand each other in the middle of the noise. Uh, so geography has a very important weight on people's axiologies, on the things that we give value. It kind of fashions us, the things that we give importance, the things that we are more capable of. For instance, technology was developed by Northern Asia. Technology, why? They kind of had to. You see, the mind of the Northern Asians or Northern Americans, it's always trying to find ways to survive. The ones from the middle or the south of the planet, they are not like that. They're more in tune with I don't know, great spirit. They have better relationships, with each other. They are more into soap operas and that sort of thing. Yeah. They just like to chill. But people of the northern hemisphere, no, they're not like that at all. They are hyper materialistic, and the modern world that we have nowadays kind of keeps us inside for long periods of time, not allowing us to have enough sunlight. Sunlight, the lack of sunlight will, you know, cause physical and spiritual diseases. I'm more preoccupied with spiritual diseases than physical, you know. I am. Because if, you know, a person in a position of power, you know, has a spiritual disease, they may open Pandora's box, you know. They may cause, you know, great, horrible things in the world. So a lot of people say, "Oh, we are living through times that are hyper materialistic, and people kind of forgot religion. We have to return, you know, into a life of, you know, of in which religion is, you know, part of our daily routines." And I'm like, it depends on your axiology. It has always been the axiology of the northern hemisphere of materialism. They've always been like this. Oh, but they have religion, you know, old pagan religion, etc. Yeah, it's true, but that's not everybody that practice those things. For the most part, they couldn't care less, I bet. The same thing today. We still have lots of religious, you know, quote, religious people, but I think we are not going through a hyper materialistic time. I think it's always been like this, you know. It's always been like this, and it's not going to be an awakening. If people are going to turn their backs on materialism and return to the comforting arms of religion, no, that's not going to happen unless you do it like in the past. You forced it down people's throats through the sword, through coercion. You see, they even give tax exemptions to those who switched to religion. There was an incentive, you know. The northern areas of the world, they are not that religious at all. They are more materialistic. And that's fine. I mean, it's their inclination. It's their inclination. Trying to force religion on them, it's not a good thing. Of course, when I say religion, I'm using, you know, the term broadly. What I mean really is spirituality. And that's something personal, you know. But anyway, I was just listening to this philosopher, and he was saying, "Oh, we have to return into a more liturgical way of life." And I'm like, no, it happened because people was forced into it by the sword in the past. You know, it depends on the axiology, and it depends on the geography. If the weather is nice, we will spend more time outside. If the weather is nice, food is more abundant. Therefore, we'll have more time to dedicate us to spiritual affairs, to philosophy, etc. You know, mm. Sometimes I catch videos from this woman. She posts this. She's from Ghana. She lives in a tribal, you know, community. She posts this from time to time, and it's beautiful, their lifestyle. They still live in those huts made of mud, and collect water with, you know, those clay pots, and they still do everything the traditional way, and they look healthy and happy, you know. And she is recording in 4K cameras and microphones and everything. There's a balance between the modern and the traditional, and that is beautiful to see that harmony. I just hope those places stay, forever like that, because the mind virus of the progressive, that they want to spread the quote unquote civilization throughout the whole world. They've spent too much time indoors. They didn't catch that much sunlight. So they think that there's a mandate, they have a mandate to spread their, uh, technocratic uh, control towards all over the world. Those people are not okay in the head. So a balance is needed, and I think sunlight, having enough sunlight is the key. All right.